What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and welcome to the Ultimate Warfare Support Guide. Now, I say support guide because this is for a support-oriented warfare build. Now, there are a lot of different things we can work into this build to make it support-focused, but this build in particular aims to pull from a bunch of different buffs that are going to maximize the effectiveness of our pawns, allowing them to do the majority of damage, while we pretty much just exist in the backline, pumping a little bit of damage here and there with our magic bow. But this is a very unique playstyle because we're pretty much reliant on our pawns to do the chunk of our damage, but it still works out quite well when set up appropriately. So to start off going through the equipment, we have 3 different weapons on, and the way Warfare works is it's going to cycle through these in the order of the numbers you see. So if I go to change order, I'm going to start off with my magic bow, then I'm going to go to my stave, then I'm going to go to the Dragon's Well Litany, and then it's going to go back to the magic bow. Now you can have 9 different weapons on, but I only have abilities for 3, and since this is a support-oriented build, there wasn't really a point for me pumping more weapons into this besides these 3. As for the gear, we're going for the Cleric's Hood, Knightly Brigantine, Conqueror's Sabatons, and then the Voyager's Cape. Another nice thing about Warfare is that you can put on any armor you want from any class, so it is peak Fashion's Dogma. We have kind of a Battle Priest type aesthetic going on here that I think looks pretty good. As for rings, the casting ring here to reduce the time it's going to take to get our Anodyne as well as our Celerity out, and then Ring of Triumph, which is just always a good all-rounder. Now, talking about the support abilities in particular that we are working with this build. First up, we have Rearmament, and you can actually play Warfare without Rearmament, but you're going to have to manually swap between all of your weapons. This is what allows you to swap between them in combat and have multiple weapons equipped, which then takes away the weight of the majority of them. Only the weight of the heaviest weapon counts. So you're going to want to have this on. Even though the appeal of a 4th skill sounds good, don't play it without Rearmament. You're going to have a bad time. Portalus, which we covered previously, is a fantastic support spell. We're going to be pumping this out, and this is just going to be putting kind of like a Thorn-type aura on top of our pawns, preventing damage to them. High Celerity. This is fantastic when you're casting it yourself. I actually don't really like using this on mage pawns because I think they just don't use it as consistently as I'd like. But here we can use this to make sure our pawns are running in, just basically hopped up. And then when we add Aromatic Resurgence on top of it, they're basically being fed meth. Like, they're going super fast, and then they're getting a damage buff, and then they're being shielded, and they're just running in like, rah, 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 like a bunch of rabid dogs that have snorted a bunch of cocaine or something. So very, very potent setup. And obviously there's a couple different things. You can pull anything you want with doing this. So if you wanted to work in Recovery Arrow instead of Fortalist, you could certainly do that. If you want to work in some damage, you could do that. If you want to go for Mirror Shield, which obviously we've already covered how insanely busted this is. I think if you have Mirror Shield, that kind of negates the purpose of having Fortalist, because you're just like, everybody's shielded, nobody ever takes damage. And, you know, I want a little bit of engaging gameplay here. I don't want them to be just completely unstoppable. But obviously that's the beauty of Warfare. You can mix up and put whatever you want on the class. Now, as for our augments, we have Sustainment and Ascendancy from Magic Archer. This is going to basically just flat out across the board buff our pawns. Athleticism for us dashing around. Exaltation, because we are going to be blowing through our stamina fairly fast. Dynamism, just to help keep that weight nice and low. And then Perpetuation to get our buffs, keep them lasting longer. And all in all, this actually comes together pretty nicely as long as your pawns are focused and attacking. So we're going to jump right on over. We'll go fight our dragon friend that's been so kind to get stomped for all of these various builds so far.
We've made it then. What's our first order of business, Arisen?
First order of business is I buff you all up. And you can actually do the essence if you want, and then even if you swap out, it'll stay, but it won't last as long. Take out these trash can enemies. And they killed the dragon before I could finish killing the ghosts. is what happens when your pawns are all hopped up on Mountain Dew, man. You just... Like, I'm ready to go! Then we can, of course, just cast an Anodyne. I don't really feel we need the heavy heals with a build like this, because they're going to kill stuff so fast, even though they're pawns, that it's kind of insane, to be honest.
You would gather materials here, monster.
Look at them go, dude. Look how fast they're just completely smashing the Doulahan. There you go, boys. You want some more haste? What's funny is I think we're actually getting faster kills here than we have with most of the other builds. Like, dude, it's so dumb. Like, we're not even, we're basically just chilling on the sidelines. We're not even really fighting. And the pawns are just like, I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. And they're just running in, doing a murder. The other thing that's really fun about this playstyle is you get to like really swap through pawns and like, you know, figure out like, okay, well, what are the best pawns I have found? You know, you wanna find pawns that are like these pawns. These are the good pawns. Everybody come to me. And get a little celerity. Sirash, come get in the bubble, bro. All right, screw it. I'll just let him go. Come on, go in. Everybody go in. I'm gonna cast this right here. Now they're just chilling. And the thing, as far as I can tell, I think the aromatic resurgence just buffs like everything. So like, you know, even the spell damage that's being pumped out is insane. We'll go see if we can find our Cyclops friend. We'll say hello to him as well.
A peculiar sensation filled me during my time.
And the crazy thing is, like, this unironically is probably the strongest build in the game. Like, you know, I can put Flare and Skull Splinter on stuff, and I can just go Thief and chain cast my explosions, but the fact that we are just chilling. We're not even doing anything. And our pawns are doing all this. Like, that's wild, dude. Go get him, boys. And if I want to get something's attention, I can just, you know, I can do some damage still. I'm still a magic archer. I'm gonna put a heal out here for y'all. Y'all enjoy that. Go, kill him. Y'all look like you need some fresh Mountain Dew. Tifa, go, finish him. What are y'all doing? And every now and again, this is the problem. Like, we do insane damage, but if our pawns get a little bit derpy, all the damage stops. Support build OP.
Did anyone else see that? Orc catches the light.
We ought to take a closer look.
Could even work in a Sork staff just to get your stamina back fast. Like, just there's so much you can do.
Battle is upon us.
He's dead. And I'm just chilling in the back line, taking out these annoying things.
Our ally. But fret not. We can banish the fiend's influence with holy attacks.
Yeah, like typically I would just pop up an anodyne between each fight. But obviously the way we're working here, we're just kind of cruising between big enemies, and we're not really taking the time that we would while exploring. But I mean, they're slaughtering everything. It's ridiculous.
Over so soon? Why, we seem to have come through unscathed.
I will say, compared to the
Walls have become a familiar
compared to like the
Where your
support magic archer build, I will say this one definitely requires some more micro, you know, because we're trying to toss up haste, we're trying to toss up resurgence, we're tossing up heals between combat. It's certainly stronger, but from a pure support perspective, I actually prefer the magic archer support build, just because, you know, it feels a little more focused, a little more fine-tuned, being able to you know, focus the shield, toss in a stun every now and again. You have the heal for the, you know, you're playing the entire thing from range, but you know, from just a damage perspective, like, you know, you crack your pawns out with this. It's silly. So either way, that is going to wrap things up for this one. I do plan on doing a more damage-oriented Warfare build as well, one that I have really enjoyed playing, so I'm going to knock that out next, give you all a look at that. Either way, thanks for coming on by, and I'll catch you soon with another build.